our next speaker is Kavita Ramakrishnan, a synopsis on Dilophylaeresis. Yes.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. This is a talk on underdiagnosed ocular dirofilariasis, a synopsis. So dirofilariasis is one of the zoonotic filial infections which inadvertently affects the human beings. It is caused by filial nematodes. So dogs, cats, and some carnivores are hosts. Humans are accidental dead-end hosts. Infection is transmitted by mosquito bites. Common species of dirofilariasis are D. immitis, D. repens, and D. tenuis. D. immitis, also known as heartworm. So D. repens causes a subcutaneous lump in face and conjunctiva, and ocular involvement is usually periorbital, orbital, subconjunctival. D. immitis infection is associated with human pulmonary dirofilariasis, usually asymptomatic. So we included 12 cases of retrospectively proven ocular dirofilariasis. In all these cases, recovery of worm was done, which was sent for microbiological examination and species identification. Conjunctival worm was diagnosed preoperatively in slit lamp examination, and imaging was available in all our 7 cases of adnexal worm. So conjunctival dirofilariasis is often misdiagnosed as allergic conjunctivitis. So here you could see, sometimes you could see it just as a cyst, and sometimes you could see the tightly coiled dirofilarial worm. So careful examination is always important. UBM images of conjunctival worm showed a subconjunctival cyst with hyperechoic areas without scleral involvement. So this is a video of retrieval of the conjunctival worm. So a small nick is made after for this, and you have to hold the worm and pull it at one stretch, at one go. So this is a thin worm, so this is how it looks. So it has to be pulled immediately, otherwise it goes back into the subconjunctival space. As far as orbital or eyelid dirofilariasis is concerned, patients may present with palpable mass with well-demarcated boundaries. High index of suspicion is needed for such cases. The diagnosis of dirofilariasis is made following histopathological examination of the surgically excised mass. So parasite migrates as microfilaria into the vitreous and anterior chamber via the bloodstream into the eye and the lids and orbit, where they form as subconjunctival or subcutaneous nodules, and then it develops into adult elements, and there it ends their life. So MRI images of these adnexal worms shows a hypoechoic cyst lodging the live or dead worm with adjacent peripheral enhancing lesion. So B-scan images will show adnexal cyst worms. If it is alive, it will be seen as flickering worms, and this is what it goes by the name of dancing worm sign. So you can see the worm right in the center, this dancing worm sign. So these are intra-op adnexal lesions. So once the diagnosis is made with imaging, so the cyst can be removed. It just looks like an innocuous cyst. So I've just incised the cyst, and the worm was retrieved. This is out of interest, I've done that, and you could see it's a long worm, and the worm is alive. There was a rare case, this is dirofilariasis in the medial rectus muscle. This lady presented with just a little bit of congestion, and this was the worm lodged in the medial rectus muscle. So gross pathology, the female worms is longer, which is identified with vulva at its end. Cuticle is typically multi-layered. Muscle coat is characteristically well developed. So this was the histopathology. That is the only confirmatory sign for dirofilarial worm, and cyst shows inflammatory changes. So microscopic sections, it shows thick cuticle and well-developed muscle layer. So this was an interesting slide where the body cavity is filled with, of the uterus is filled with numerous microfilaria, which is not released into the bloodstream. So results, there was no gender prevalence. Here 5 cases were conjunctival and 7 were adnexal. I come from a hospital in South India, so 9 were from Kerala and 3 were from Tamil Nadu. The youngest of a patient was 12 years of age, the oldest was 62 years of age. So removal of the parasite is only treatment for ocular dirofilariasis. The entire parasite must be removed in order to avoid any allergic reactions due to parasitic remnants. Antihelminthic drugs are not indicated in these cases. So in summary, dirofilariasis is a vector-borne disease. Distribution infection rates have undergone significant modifications due to global climatic changes, and underreporting of cases is also noted. So this is one of our cases. So I brought this to the to show this worm this was missed by a retina colleague, so this could be a dirofilariasis. They were not as curious as me. They went in and took the worm with a vitrectomy cutter. So alarmingly increasing trend of Diarrhea infection calls for epidemiological survey, species identification, intensive studies are required, which will help in assessment of the exact prevalence of this emerging zoonotic infection and in devising appropriate control measures. So my references. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. For
Thank you.
unexpected cases, we have seen